All right, welcome all along. Tonight's class is called Time for a Chat. And this is the last class for Term 1 for those of you that are here live. So this is our last class for a couple of weeks. Your invites for Term 2 will go out, they'll go out next week at some stage. Irene will probably pop those out to you. And let me give you a little bit of an idea about outcomes for tonight. Hey, Daniela. As far as outcomes for tonight go, I want to go back to the beginning a little bit. I want to go back to where this all started for me. I want to go back and give you guys my roadmap a little bit and have an honest conversation, have an honest chat. There are some people on this call that are brand new. There are some people on the call that have been here for a couple of years. I want to just peel back some layers and have a nice, honest conversation with you. So that's where we're heading. Trust that you will enjoy it, and it's kind of fun to be able to do this every now and then. So without any further ado, I guess maybe I'll stop talking and start doing the chatting. Probably be good, right? All right, so a lot of people have been asking me recently about our course and about what they need to do in our course. And if you imagine our course where you might get a 0 and where you might get a 100, and there's passing and then there's excellence, I want to give you a little bit of an idea about what we have as an expectation. To me, there we go, passing is kind of so-so, excellence is up there at the 100. The majority of people that we will come across live somewhere in the middle. Not really good, not really bad, so they kind of get not bad, okay? Not really good, not really bad, they kind of end up with not bad. And they become so afraid of it becoming bad that they might do some affirmations, but little else, okay? This is really about asking yourself to think in ways that you haven't thought before. This course is about finding exercises and working through things that can be achieved through trusting your unconscious mind. If you're here in this course, then you were supposed to be here. And I want you to demonstrate the ultimate behavioural flexibility and choice to learn new and unfamiliar things. I want it to be profound, and I want you to make a decision, not have a wait-and-see attitude. Every single result you create from this training is up to you. When you move to 100% cause in your life, things will fall into place. And your immune system, your unconscious mind, is consistently eavesdropping on your thinking. So if you wake up and you say, I'm tired, your unconscious mind will play the record of you're tired. If you run the pattern of this is hard, your unconscious mind will run the pattern of this is hard. And tonight, I want to jolt some of that, okay? That's what I'm wanting to do. I want to jolt some of that tonight, change a little bit of thinking, and just throw in a little bit of, and I hate the word, but maybe a little bit of motivation, all right? So that's kind of where we're at. Now, this is kind of funny for me because in a lot of ways, we're a lot... we come with a lot less instructions than the most basic item that might be in your kitchen, like a kettle. I mean, even a kettle, which is so basic, has more instructions on how to operate it than we do. You put the water in, you boil it, you pour the water out. Like, even that has more than what we've got. What happens to the kettle if you let it boil dry? Or boil the kettle, then put the water in? Or put oil instead of water in? What happens is that you just replace the kettle. We can't do that with ourselves. You're it. And if you make a mess and you bore yourselves dry, you're still alive, you're still here, and you're all that you've got. And this is the thing. We were born, we were hung upside down. If you're anything like the 2 births I've seen live, you were slapped, and then in the absence of any other rule instructions or rule books, you've started to create them and invent them yourself. Rules that I see and hear every day are rules like this. Life wasn't meant to be easy. People can't be trusted. Money's hard to make. My parents owe me an apology. Other people get all the luck. I can't do it. You have to love me. I have to win. I want someone to rescue me. I want to rescue someone else. I'm here to rescue people. You must agree with everything I say. Why couldn't I just have an instruction manual for my life? Yeah? So these are the kinds of rules that we get. Hi, Nat. Just saw that pop through. And as a consequence of that, we think we're pursuing success and happiness, but often it's being corrupted into protecting ourselves from our 3 biggest fears. And those 3 biggest fears are universal. I'm not enough. I don't belong. I won't be loved. Man, it's no wonder that people struggle, right? Because life can become a never-ending series of dramas and stories and excuses about why we can't succeed or can't be happy. And when you're doing that, life can become a chore, and it stops being a joy. And then we can hide, and we hope that we won't get called upon to be our own hero in our life. And yet, we should be our own heroes. First time and every time. And that is what this course is about. It's about becoming your own hero. But this is what happens. We create armor shield to protect ourselves from disappointment and hurt and fear. And I didn't want to hear this when I first came across it. I didn't like the discomfort. I didn't like the feeling of being uncomfortable. And I had this myth that everyone has that we shouldn't feel uncomfortable, that we shouldn't have disappointment, and that we shouldn't have hurt and we shouldn't have fear. Because the people that you work with, and maybe you right now, are running a pattern of wanting to be comfortable. But this is the thing. People are not. They're not. And comfort's not the answer, people. Being uncomfortable is the answer. And people might run a pattern of denying that being uncomfortable, or let's use it, working out of your comfort zone. They deny it has use for them. They can pretend that they don't hear answers. Friends who keep on complaining like no one ever offered them a solution, but they don't do anything. They'll argue for why things will never work for them, like somehow they're the exception to the whole universe. They'll convince themselves that they don't have the money or the time, that somehow the universe changes its laws for them. They'll look for a catch. And here's the thing. What you see as lacking in others is what's lacking within you. Or we'll say we'll do it later. We'll procrastinate. Like the most important thing in the whole entire world, this journey that we're on, like it can wait. Like being everything that we can be and changing the world can wait. Like losing excess weight having health and vitality and creating wealth not for wealth's sake, but wealth for the sake of being able to give and look after people in your clan, you know, your family, your tribe, like that's not important. And I'll do it later, it can wait. And I'll procrastinate. The truth is that the deepest fear we possess is not that we're inadequate. The deepest fear that we actually possess is that we are powerful beyond all measure. I kind of like that. I kind of like that. And does that hit with you? I fought long and hard for the fact that there's no fear of success. There's a fear of the work it takes for success. But I kind of like this. That fear that we can be more. The fear that we can be everything. The fear that we can be the hero. The fear that we can change the world today. Because that fear comes with so much responsibility, doesn't it? So much responsibility. But you've earned it. You deserve it. There's no one on this call that deserves it more than you do, no matter when you're listening to it, no matter who's on the call. So it then becomes, you know, for me, how do I look at this? What do I look at as being, you know, mini instrument? You know, what is success? Let's play with it. What do you guys think? Give me your definition of success while we're here and we're playing and we're having a chat. Fire it away for me. And thank you for the feedback. Already within 15 minutes, we're starting to hit a few nerves here, which is what I want. So what is success to you? Because I know what it is when you first find me. What is it now? All right. We've got freedom of choice in all areas of your life by Irene. Michael says understanding in all industries. Interesting, Michael. Interesting take on success. Nat says happiness and empowerment, as in I'm all that I can be and I take action. Jean says pushing through the fear to become all we can be. Michael says to be renowned in all industries. Okay. Other Michael says being able to keep going. Paul says living my life to my values, achieving my goals so I get to set new ones. I like that. Robin says success to me is getting out of my comfort zone. Hannah says achieving your goals and being happy. I like that. Let me tell you what mine is. Daniela, doing what you want, when you want, and the way you want. Yeah, I've heard that often. I like that. Hannah says having no regrets. I like that as well. Let's have a look at this. I kind of like this definition here. Success means having the courage, the will, and the determination to become the person you believe you were meant to be. Wow. Isn't that cool? Right? Isn't that super cool? Becoming the person. Sorry, I've got a few PowerPoint slides open here. I need to close a few of them. There we go. Okay. Yeah, Michael loves that. John, success for me is a place where my actions meet my goals and then the understanding that any goal I set is the start of the process. Yeah, I like that. Oh, sorry guys. Looks like I might have just closed one too many of all those things that were jamming up my PC. Bear with. I will be back to you in 1 second. I'm still here, by the way. I've just got to find where that just went to. Sorry. Talk amongst yourselves. Put some things up there for me so that I can get a bit more of an idea. And I will just find that webinar I just closed. Apologies for that. Okay. We're back. Just let me know, can you guys all see that screen again? All back in action, got the webinar? Beautiful. Okay. Jean, you're the only one who's having sound problems, darling, so I'm assuming you must be wireless, which could be why. Okay, so let me go to where we were. The instruction manual for life. The grand essentials of happiness are something to do, something to love, and something to hope for. The grand essentials of happiness are something to do, something to love, and something to hope for. Isn't that cool? And I saw a really great definition the other night that said happiness is having a project. Kind of like that as well. I want to give you an instruction manual that's going to help you to move through this course even more effectively than you are, no matter where you are, all right? So that's what I wanted to spend a little bit of time on now. Number one, and I want you to write these down. I want you to make an effort to raise your standards. Raise them higher than you ever possibly thought they could be. Ask more of yourself than your friends and family do, because they're invested in where you're at right now, not where you want to be. I'm going to say that again. Ask yourself more than your friends and family would ever do, because they're invested in you right now, not in where you want to go, not in where you want to be, not in who you want to be. Draw a line in the sand. Burn the bridges today on mediocrity. It's too easy to be mediocre, and it's already been done to death. Okay? It's been done. Someone's owned that. So let's find something more. And let's have that above-the-line thinking. That thinking of ownership and responsibility, of accountability, not denial and not blame. Okay? The number two thing I want you to do in this mini instruction manual for life is I want you to be really focused on your focus. You guys all know about your RAS, right? Your reticular activating system. I want you to think about your RAS in terms of Google. You type in something specific and you get something specific to the exclusion of everything else. When you buy the new car and suddenly you see the car everywhere, that's your RAS. That's your reticular activating working perfectly for you. And I want you to think about it like this. Everyone is just walking around tuned into a radio station, a radio band, okay? This is the thing though. One reality at one station, and every station exists all of the time. But the question that you've got to ask yourself is, which one have I been tuning into lately? Do I need to go from 106.5 FM to 106.7? Do I need to make that little tiny turn on the dial to make sure that you reach your potential? So what are you focusing on? What are you focusing on every day? What are you looking for? What are you telling your RAS, your reticular activating system, what are you telling it to look for every day? Are you telling it to look for health and wealth and abundance and opportunity? Or are you telling it to look for something else? Good question, right? Number 3, maybe it's time to start asking better questions. And I love that quote. If you argue for your limitations, sure enough, they'll become yours. Isn't that cool? If you're hard enough for all of your limitations, you're going to own every one of them. The quality of your questions will always determine the quality of your life. You are a direct reflection of your thoughts and your self-talk. You must be. You get that. You all know this. So what questions are you asking every single day? Are they questions that are like this? Why me? Why won't they? Why can't I? Well, questions like this. How can I? How can I create it? How can I turn it around? How can I take this to the next level? Excuse me. I'm getting kind of pumped here anyway. How can I contribute to this even more? How can I serve even more? How can I make this fun? How can I improve my life? How will this improve my life? How can I step up even more right now? So I want you to take 1 minute, and I want all of you to write down one brilliant question that you're going to start asking yourself every day from tomorrow. One. And then make a commitment to do that. So give me the question. Put it up there. Let's share it for the world. For the people in this class. And while you do that, I'll remove the frog in my throat. So we've got, what goals do I want to achieve today? Yeah, Myra, I like that. What about this, Mona? What if you then went, how can I achieve the goals today? It's one thing to have the goals, but how are you going to get there? How can I achieve more? What uncomfortable thing can I do today? Michael, I like that a lot. What can I do today that I've never done before? Yes, Irene. How can I commit to myself in a more resourceful way? I like that. How can I grow even more today? I like that. How can I step up even more in this very moment? Yeah, Danielle, I love it. How am I creating my future today? How can I be more than I ever thought I could be now and for the rest of my life? Etienne, love it. We're there. Good questions. Are they better questions than you have been asking yourself in the last week, 2 weeks, or last month? I don't need the answer. You know the answer. But it was time to check in. Number 4, we're in personal development. We're coaches. We know about the law of attraction. So maybe it's time that we start appreciating what we have. Number 1, appreciating what we have, showing appreciation. Guys, I don't know about you, but if I go to an event, a training event, and I've got someone who gives of their time for a day, 2 days, 5 days, 7 days, 9 days, 2 hours, whatever that is, I have massive appreciation for that person. I don't worry about whether or not the sun's shining in my eyes or the room's too cold or the room's too hot or the bloody chair's uncomfortable. because it's about knowing about the law of attraction and utilizing it, right? It's about having appreciation for everything. This is the other thing. Are you stepping outside of your comfort zone? Are you saying yes and then figuring out how? Are you following through on everything that you say that you'll do? Are you contributing but beyond you? Maybe this isn't about you. Maybe it never was. Maybe this whole journey was never, ever really about you. And it was about everyone else, all the lives you could change, working from the closest circle out. So we change our family, we change our circle of influence, we change our friends, we lead all of those people, and we change the world. And maybe it's not about you. Maybe you need to get over you. I don't know. But I know it's easier to do things when it's not totally focused on you. Maybe it's time to start getting actively involved in creating your future. Every part of your future. What does your average day look like? If you could just have one day for the rest of your whole entire life, what would you do? What would you do? Who would you spend your time with? What would you do with them? What would you eat? What conversations would you have? Start creating that day. Where would you live? Yeah? Number 5, and I love this one. It's time that you dare to dream. Don't settle for a resolution and then wish, wait, and hope that it happens. Set your goal consistently and constantly, and then take massive action and go on. I got someone on the phone today. I can't remember who it was, but it was a potential student. And he said to me, I get what success is all about. Success is all about having a big dream, having really big goals. And I said to him, and he said, and then the universe will look after you. No, absolutely not. Dream big and then take monstrously big action. Then, and only then, will the universe look after you. And if you haven't got the results that you want right now, ask yourself, am I taking the right actions? Am I doing the things I needed to do? Am I doing everything I need to do? Am I doing it consistently? Then the universe will start looking after you. Guys, I can only tell you from my own opinion, everyone I've ever coached on this, your dream, whatever that dream is, whatever it is, it's there. You just need to create the path, be prepared to be flexible and do the work. And this is the thing I know for sure. Nearly everyone thinks that they can get the dream quicker than they can. Yeah? Nearly everyone believes they can do way more than they can in the first 6 months or 9 months. And everyone believes that they can't do anywhere near enough after about 3 years. Yeah? This is what I see all the time. Most people grossly overestimate what can be done in 6 months and grossly underestimate what can be done in 3 years. And there's a reason why, by the way. There's a reason why, okay? So make your dreams big. Make them scary. Make them hairy. Make them bold. Why not? We talked about it before. Mediocre's already been done. This is kind of, I guess this is the main theme of this little chat tonight. Are you being your own hero? Are you making decisions? Are you making decisions every day? Are you being decisive? Destiny is not a matter of chance. Destiny is all about choice. The majority of people out there that are just making do, they're avoiding making decisions. or they're satisfying themselves with tiny decisions to avoid the pain of being wrong, looking bad. I'm telling you right now, it doesn't matter what Bob down the street thinks if you go for a dream and you don't get it. Because then you set another one, or you go again for that one and you try a different way. NLP teaches us, try a different way. If you don't get the result you want, try a different way. If you don't get the result you want, try a different way. And guys, it's a muscle like any other muscle. You've got to use the muscle of making a decision. The more decisions that you make, the better you get. So who do you hang out with now? Who are you spending your time with? How will you build your life? How will you build the business that you want? What decisions do you need to make to do that? What actions do you need to take? And the key word in that is you. Be your own hero. Create this for yourself because you deserve it. The big kahuna idea, yeah? Take action. Take massive action. That's what Tony Robbins says, right? Take massive action. Action may not always bring happiness, but there is no happiness without action. Nothing will replace this. You can be on the right track, but if you just sit there, you'll get run over. Take action every single day. Even if you're not doing the thing you're the most passionate about right now, do it with excellence. Stand up. Go the extra mile. Because the extra mile is attractive and it helps you feel great. So if your standard wherever you are now is not of excellence, it's time to step up. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if you're a chimney sweep. Be the best damn chimney sweep that you can be whilst you're doing your course and you're creating a coaching business. Because you can't turn excellence on and off. Excellence is either there or it's not. Turn it on. Become it in every aspect of your life. Live it, breathe it, know it. Take the actions that are required to achieve excellence. And from the big far, constant and never-ending improvement. Once you design your own rules for life, you tend to stick with them. And it's kind of like we feel, you know, I'll just keep the rules same. Something happens, things will change. I'll win tax lotto. People on my journey will arrive. Whatever it is. You've got to be willing to surrender things that don't work. And I'm telling you from first-hand experience, it takes massive courage to give up your stories and your problems, because those stories and problems kind of become life. So ask yourself next time you sit down to watch TV or to read a new idea or to read whatever it is, make a decision. Is this the outcome that I want? Is it leading me to where I want to go? Oh, sorry guys, that sounded a bit dodgy, huh? I'll go forward slide. Is that slide better? Sorry, I put all of those little beautiful, wonderful images in there. They look great, but they're kind of not super duper for sound quality. So what I was talking about with regard to can I is just make a decision every minute. Is what I'm doing right now helping me get the result that I want? If it's not, shelve it. Do something that is. And I acknowledge all of you guys. You're on this call. You're working towards where you want to be. And I love that. But what do you do when it finishes at 8 o'clock? Do you go and turn television on, or do you go and work on your business? Do you read a Who magazine, or do you read your manual? Ask yourself the question, what am I doing every minute of that day? All right, let's look at resilience for 1 second. The successful person is one who can lay a firm foundation with the bricks that others throw at them. Kind of like that. I've got my own take on resilience and how it works in business, okay? And this is it. I reckon that the successful person / people, they just get up off the canvas one more time than the people who aren't. And it's in everything. And let me tell you, and it's funny, I'll share a cricket story with you. One of my favourite mantras when I've coached cricket, played cricket, captained cricket, has been, boys, we just need to concentrate for one ball longer than them. And and we run that all day, every day. We just need to concentrate one ball longer than them. When you're bowling, you concentrate one ball longer than the batter. When you're batting, you concentrate one ball longer than the bowler. And it's kind of like everything else in life. You've just got to work one day longer. So if you've got a coach that's a 6 out of 10 and doing, other coaching schools, they might be 5 or 6 out of 10. I want to be 10. If another coaching school has NLP, I want to do NLP and Master Prac of NLP. I want to be resilient in every minute of my life. I want to do extra. If someone says I can't do something, I want to get up and prove to them that I can. If something doesn't work, I will try another way. That's resilience. So ask yourself the question, when roadblocks are getting in my way at the moment, am I being resilient? Am I finding a way? Am I being resourceful? Because you've got to get super resilient for this to work. Because to build the momentum at the start, to build the momentum of clients, to build the momentum of product, the last 2 weeks, to build the momentum of people coming to you, it takes time. And Irene is on this call right now. I can tell you, you get to a critical mass where you can't stop it, where there's just this overwhelming momentum build up within a business. And it happened in my coaching business. It happened in my software business. It's certainly happening in this business. But man, it's been some serious work, right? It's been some serious resilience. It's taken a ton of time to get to the point where we are at now. And it's taken a whole range of different ways, which, by the way, is why we run the 2-day advanced sales and marketing for coaches, to teach you how I did it, to fast track you away from all the stuff that doesn't work. Cool? All right, number 10. Maybe it's time to start focusing on what you can do, Focusing on your strengths, focusing on the possibilities within your control of influence, and forgetting about focusing on the things that you can't do. Forget about focusing on the weaknesses to make the weakness a 6 out of 10. Focus on what you can do. If you're an outstanding presenter, focus on a way to get in front of people. If you're amazing as a coach one-on-one, focus on ways to be one-on-one. If you're incredibly gifted at writing product, focus on writing the product and how you can utilize that as your strength. Start getting focused on all of the things that you can do. Start getting focused on all of the possibilities right now. And those possibilities are monstrous. Every single one of you has the opportunity right now to go to Google and create an ad and see if you can get some leads coming to a landing page where someone can opt in to get your money magnet. You can all do that. You could all create an ad on Facebook. You could all ring 10 businesses tomorrow and ask them who's looking after their coaching. But will you? So what do you need to do from here? I think you need to be the example of what you want to see. You need to be the example that you think people would want to follow. And I think that one of the great things that you can do is run your life like you're on Glenn TV, but change the Glenn with your name. You're in Paul TV or Irene TV or Michael TV. And every single minute of every single day, there's a television camera watching you, multiple cameras. Then what would be different? What would you do differently? And make a decision right now to do more of those things. It's funny, one of my favorite coaching tools was to say this to people. I want you to pretend there is a camera on you all day, especially when you're working with small business owners, which, by the way, you guys all are, right? And I didn't. You 24 billable hours in a day. How many of them do you sleep? 6. Okay, great. You've got 18 billable hours left. What else do you need to do? I've got to eat. Okay, I've got to have a shower. Okay, I've got to spend a couple of hours with my wife, whatever. Okay. How many billable hours left? I've got 12. Fantastic. Of those 12 billable hours, or of those 12 possible working hours, how many are you actually working? And if you were to break them down into 15-minute slots, and you were to have 48 15-minute slots, and you were to assess yourself out of 48 each day, how many out of 48 would you find that you were working 100% to your business? That's something you could look at. Yeah? That's something you can look at. By the way, this is the exact same process I went through when I was setting up my business. I started assessing myself based on my time. And I didn't do 15-minute blocks, I did half-an-hour blocks. So 8 till half 8, half 8 till 9, 9 till half 9. Am I working or am I messing around? Am I actively working or am I faffing? And if you're a business coach, it's a great thing to do with small business owners. Okay? I've got one slide left. These are the rules I think it's really important that you do not live by. These are my anti-perfect life, if you must. People go through their lives convinced that they want more happiness and success, yet everything they do sets them up to fail. People, we are products of our past, so much so that we become afraid of creating a magnificent future. We become afraid of our potential and of the responsibility that goes along with that potential. And these are the rules that are not true. You won't be happy if you have something. You choose happy right now. You won't be happy if you drug yourself. You won't be happy if you think incessantly about you and what you need to change about yourself. You won't be happy if someone else loves you. And you certainly won't be happy if you pretend that it's all just by chance. Because it's not, it's by choice. All right, 100% respectful of the time. I'm going to officially press stop on the recording. Trust that everyone enjoyed that, and I'm going to hang out and answer any questions that you might have for a couple of minutes.